The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by former guest of the show and Matt Landowski and Sweet Hand Sports. Our mission at Sweet Hand Sports is to gear you up for greatness. With our top tier gloves, you are set to grip, win, and dominate. Grip your victory and leave your mark on the game. Sweet Hand Sports brings you batting gloves and now golf gloves that are designed to be durable and breathable. Go to sweethandsports.com, use the promo code BONO10 and save yourself 10%. Grip your victory at Sweet Hand Sports. Once again, sweethandsports.com, promo code BONO10 to save yourself 10%. The Ride Home Rants podcast is also brought to you by Buddy's Beard Care. Buddy's Beard Care provides premium men's grooming product at an affordable price. Products are made in Ohio, and Buddy's Beard Care supports local. The majority of their suppliers are from other Ohio-based companies. You can find them on social media at Buddy's Beard Care or online at buddysbeardcare.com. He has sent me a complimentary bottle of their beard balm. My beard has never felt softer. It has never been more tamed and has never grown faster or looked healthier. I've been using these products for a little while now, and I love every minute of it. Once again, buddysbeardcare.com. Use the promo code Mike Bono and save yourself 15%. Next, we are brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood. The Tactical Brotherhood is a movement to support America. We believe that there is a gap in focus when it comes to companies that support America. We want to be the front lines of supporting Americans and are determined to find something worth being proud of in every aspect of our military, starting with the men and women who serve and protect us. Our mission is simple: to unite like-minded individuals by celebrating what makes each one of us unique Americans. You don't have to be a veteran to join us. You just have to love America. Go to tacticalbrotherhood.com, use the promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Once again, the tacticalbrotherhood.com, promo code Mike Bono, save yourself 10%. Next, we are brought to you by Deemed Fit, a clothing company brought to you by first responders for first responders. They are a clothing apparel company that helps those who have worked through the COVID-19 pandemic and also for all the first responders with their mental and physical health. Deemed Fit donates 100% of their net profits from the Never Forget collection sales to the Tunnel of Towers Foundation to support those from 9/11. Once again, go to deemedfit.com. Check out all of their great products. All of them have great messages. They fit and look great. Use the promo code Mike Bono and save yourself 10%. By supporting Deemed Fit through your own purchase, gifts bought for your friends, family, and colleagues, or by becoming one of our brand ambassadors, you become part of the Deemed Fit family. Don't miss out on this great way to help and support everyone who has helped and supported our country. Deemedfit.co, promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Next, we have Shankit Golf. Shankit Golf is golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We're not going to go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but we are going to give you the gear to help you rock it on and off of the course. Our goal here at Shankit Golf is for everyone to have a great time on and off of the course, and we're going to help you look great while doing it. Go to shankitgolf.com, use the promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Once again, shankitgolf.com, promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Lastly, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Web Western. Web Western is for those who roll up their sleeves and do what it takes to get the job done. The arrow serves as a constant reminder to be a straight shooter, no excuses, no bullshit, just honest hard work. It's a brand that reflects the passion within us to lend a hand when it is needed, fight to protect our God-given rights, and live life like there is no tomorrow. Be a straight shooter. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I got a special episode for us today. Got a group of guys here. We're going to sit and we're going to talk all things Family Guy, one of my favorite shows growing up. So we're going to talk all things that. So I got a panel of guests here that are going to introduce themselves. And guys, I need your name and the answer to these two questions. And that is, have you ever been horseback riding, and are patios or decks better on a house for an entertainment space? And Colin, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so Colin Pope. And if I had to make a choice, I'd probably say the patios. are better over decks. And I only reason I say that is I've seen some laid out flagstone patios in my past, and I think some of the stuff that people are doing those it's sweet. So I'm gonna go patio.
Okay. And next we got everybody's favorite manager on the podcast, Fitty.
Wait, Colin, you didn't answer the horse question.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I actually have been horseback riding, and I don't know if it counts or not because I was like in fifth grade. So we're talking over 20 years ago, but I'm going to say that it counts. So
I'll allow it. I'll allow it for sure. Fitty, what about you?
So everybody knows me. This is Fitty. I've never been horseback riding, and I think horses are majestic. And I know like they're amazing pets and companions. They live like 30 years plus for people, right? Like almost half of a human life expectancy. But I would never want to go horseback riding because I'm of the age that I know what happened to Christopher Reeves on a horse and watched him become a quadriplegic, and that's like my biggest fear in life. So no, I've never been horseback riding. Never plan on it. Patios or decks? I would probably say a patio because to Colin's point, like you can do more with a patio, right? Like a deck is a lot of work once you have it, and to like constantly want to entertain on it, you got to have the right type of materials, and it can't be in the sun because decks trap so much heat. And I feel like patios, yeah, you could put like tables out there, umbrellas, and you could grill. I don't know if anyone's really trying to grill on a deck. You get like a spark, and your whole deck goes in flames. So I'm going to go with patio.
All right. Everybody knows me, Mike Bono. I have been horseback riding. Kind of to Colin's point, it was in my younger years. Don't know if I'd get back on one again, getting into the age that I'm getting into. I just don't think it's for me anymore. I'm inclined to say patios because I have a patio. I don't have a deck at my house now, but I'm a deck guy. My parents had one growing up. They had one that had a cover over one portion to where you could have some furniture, relax in the shade, and then there was another part that was uncovered. But yeah, I'm a big deck guy. I like to grill out on that too as well. Can't do a lot of charcoal on that because to Fetty's point there, yeah, I don't want that thing to go up in flames. But other than that, yeah, I'm inclined to say patio because I have one. We're doing a lot with it. But if I had a choice, I'm going deck all day, every day for me. But we're not here to talk about decks or patios. We're here to talk about all things Family Guy. Colin, we're going to start with you. Out of the Griffin family, so Peter, Lois, Chris, Meg, Stewie, and Brian, who's your favorite Family Guy character?
I'm going to have to go Peter. I mean, he's the anchor, right? He's the guy. When you think about the Family Guy, it's him. So he definitely brings it all together, I think, in my opinion.
I got you. Fitty, what about you?
Colin makes a really good point about Peter, but like he is like the patriarch of the family there, and it's like so funny. But I think Stewie, man, because like I think everyone, even if you like Family Guy or not, has seen a clip of Stewie doing something, and I just think he just brings the most humor because you just don't know about Stewie. He's always like diabolical. And, if you have a baby or a child, they could be like Stewie, just planning world domination. You don't even know it yet. So I got to go with Stewie.
Gotcha. As three dads on here, I kind of figured we all would be inclined to say Peter, being the dad of the family. I'm torn between Stewie and Brian. I think both of their two dynamics together is hysterical and it makes for good comedy. Brian, just because I feel like I'm becoming him more and more in that I'll have a couple of drinks and just some of the things that come out of my mouth, we don't know what's going to come out of there. And being a comedian, it helps. It does definitely doesn't hurt not having a filter anymore and what comes out of my mouth. But for sake of the show, I'm gonna have to say Brian just because I don't want to say something that either of you all said. Although all three of those, I feel like it's a flip of a coin for me out of Peter, Stewie, or Brian as to who's my favorite. But I'll definitely go Brian for this one, just for the sheer comic relief when he does get with Stewie. Fitty, who is your favorite non-family character? So examples would be like Cleveland Brown, Herbert, Mayor West, Wild West, Joe, Bonnie, Quagmire, and so on and so forth. So out of the not Griffin family, who's your favorite?
I like Joe because he's just like intense and he like flips like at like the most minuscule thing. I mean, Herbert's hilarious with the stuff he says. I like Wild West because I really like Sam Elliott, and I like Wild West because they make him like this rugged, hilarious, like not trying to be hilarious, but like hilarious, almost like ASMR video when he talks. Like you just want to go like right to sleep. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Wild West and Ollie Williams.
Okay.
Those are my two right there.
Colin, what about you?
I don't know. I kind of agree with Fitty. I really like Joe as a supporting character. I think his intensity is hilarious. Like the episode where they're in the nuclear fallout and he's melted to his driveway, and that giant rat comes on and he's just like, "Bring it on!" that always them bits like that always make me laugh. But I'm gonna have to go with Joe Swanson, and then a close second would be a greased up deaf guy.
Greased.
You're gonna catch me! It's gonna catch me!
That's phenomenal. Joe's definitely up there for me. Just with you don't become the angry white comic and not like a guy who loses his shit on a daily basis on the most minuscule thing, because it's kind of been my whole shtick on stage in that I can't stand stupid people and I lose my mind on the littlest thing. But Quagmire, just for the double entendre things that he says and just his general demeanor, I'd have to go Quagmire and Joe for me. And I feel like you can't go around anybody without them going the giggity. You know, everybody knows that line. It has that in their repertoire whenever they say anything. So I think just for that, I'd have to go Quagmire in a very close second, Joe, for me on that one. Although Herbert and Wild West are definitely honorable mentions for me in that one there. But Colin, I mean, Family Guy is on. We got to pause for a second because we have another guest joining here that we've been waiting for here for a second, and that is the vampire coach himself finally coming onto the show here. Mr. Askew joining us here. You got us here, mister?
Play a Jeopardy theme song as we wait for him.
You're on mute, big dog.
Showing us email?
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's up, fella?
What's going on, mister? You got the wrong side of the camera on there.
Turn the camera around.
We're looking at your computer, big dog.
Oh, man, my bad.
Now I'm looking at your safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. How you, man? All right.
It's always fun to watch Mr. fumble around with the camera.
Oh, my God.
Nope.
Still on your safe.
Nope, still in the safe.
What is wrong with this? Okay.
Just turn your phone around if you have to.
All right, there we go.
There we go. All right.
Right there. Now.
My bad, guys.
You good,
It's okay, mister.
All good. Mister. I can't get you out of these questions. You got to answer the two fitty questions to start at the show. Everyone knows Mr. Askew has been on a bunch, but have you ever been horseback riding in our patios or decks better on a house for entertainment space?
Man, horseback riding. Even in horseback riding, baby.
No, have you ever been horseback riding?
Horseback riding?
Oh, have I been horseback riding? You know what? Yes, I have. It's been a long time. But I have been on a real life horse, horsebacking. Where was I at? I was in Ohio, either Ohio or West Virginia. But yeah, man, come on, man. We are the originator of horseback riding, bro. Come on. We know about horseback riding. We the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
And
50 already know. Oh, gosh, here we go. I won't go into no more than that.
and patio or deck on a house?
Oh, you know what? Patio deck. Shoot, you know what? I would have to go with the I like a big deck, man. I like a deck, big deck. Yeah. Give me the deck. No, give me the patio, man. But give me the stone patio, brother.
Okay. All right.
Good call, mister.
Good call on that one. We'll get you in. We'll get you up to speed here. So out of the
Bono,
Griffin,
you might as well have Mister just do the first two questions.
yeah, we're only two questions in here, Mister. So we're gonna catch you up here. So out of the Griffin family, Peter, Lois, Chris, Meg, Stewie, or Brian, who's your favorite?
Give me Peter.
Peter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and to go with that, out of the non-Griffin family, who's your favorite supporting cast?
Man, that's a good question. You know what, man? I'm gonna think. What? I don't know the dog, man. What's the dog name?
No, that's
Brian.
Family.
He's part of the Griffin. So we're looking for like Cleveland Brown, Herbert, Mayor West, Wild West, Joe, Bonnie.
Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland, man. Yeah, with the father. The father?
Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, Cleveland Brown. Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I love that show, the Cleveland Brown show. That's one of my favorite shows, man.
Gotcha. All right, so we'll stick with you for the third question since we got you rolling here. Family Guy has been on for 24 years total now. Have you always watched it, or when did you get into Family Guy?
You know, I probably started watching Family Guy real hard, probably like the last 10 years. When it first came out, you know, I spot watched it, you know what I'm saying, a little bit here and there. But, you know, I was always in, you know, I like watching a lot of Japanese animation. I know we're not talking about that, but I used to watch a lot of those. But then, you know what I'm saying, but the little punchline that the Family Guy show had, I mean, it started to become, you know, so you never knew what was going to happen next, man. And so those punchlines, I really started liking the punchline with the Family Guy, you know. So, and I started really, you know what I'm saying, getting into it because, you know, you having a bad day, you want to rant about something. Hey, man, just pop in one of them Family Guy shows, man. You'll forget all your problems, bro.
Absolutely. Fitty, what about you?
I remember when it came out, I was like 13 or 13. Like, I think when it came out, like maybe like 7th grade. I watched a little bit of it at the beginning, but I was like 13 and like, you know, you're trying to like watch it and you're in the house with your family. They're like, you can't watch this. This is like the most offensive show ever. Like, you know, and the stuff they would say, like in those early, like if people think Family Guy's offensive now, go watch seasons like 1 through 4. It's like the most offensive stuff ever. And it's hilarious. But it is literally the most offensive stuff ever. So anyways, started watching it then. I think it was out those couple of years I was in like my junior, senior year of high school. We got into it again in college. And then after college is when I really got into it because I think that's when it just really really raised its level. Like people were talking about it. It got off of like, I think it was on Adult Swim back in the day or like, I don't know, Comedy Central or something like that. But then it got on like Fox and all that stuff. So basically, Mike, I've watched it since the beginning, but I've gotten to be a bigger fan probably since I was like the past 20 years.
I got you. Colin, what about you?
So I think I got into it real big in college, just, you know, after classes, because I had a bunch of night classes. I would just throw it on after I got home from class and just to, you know, kind of decompress a little bit. And then during the lockdown, that's when it really took off. I think we flipped back and forth between Game of Thrones and Family Guy that whole time. So that was about the extent of what we had going on.
I gotcha. I started watching it early, but like Fitty, I was younger when it first came out. So, you know, trying to watch that around your family, it just not something you could really get into near the end of high school, senior year, watched it. And then in college, fallen out of watching it a little bit more now, getting older, just being busy. But I do see all the jokes. But yeah, you're right. It was so offensive back in the day, back when you could say a lot more on shows and get away with it. But I mean, if people think it's offensive now, to your point, Fitty, yeah, if they watch seasons like 1 through 4, they would be appalled at some of the things that were said on this show, and it just makes it funnier to me.
Well, and that's why like people don't realize like that's why it did get like taken off the air for 2 years from like 04 to 06 because it was so offensive. Like people went crazy, but because like back then the DVD sales were so high, and like people were like trying to watch all these rewinds, they really had no choice but to bring it back. Because of that, like because it was such a demand for it. But like you think back, and people have seen this, like it was really, really offensive. Like again, they had like prom night dumpster baby, and it talked about like people like throwing a baby in the dumpster, right? Like on prom night, like super offensive. And then it had like this other one when Peter needed a lawyer, and they made fun of like the whole Jewish population, and Seth MacFarlane's Jewish, but he like they really, really offended people with like some of those things, and that's why they canceled it. But they came back, and he's still been attacking everyone over the 22 years or whatever it was 20 years since he came back. So yeah, but people want to watch the old ones, man. It's wild. It is wild.
Yeah, to that point, like, I mean, they're known for pushing the limits on topics like pop culture, death, politics, religion, gender, music. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's some pretty dark humor with the show. I mean, it can be brutal to say that, but yet I think like Seth has like towed that line with funny and offensive. Like, I think he's figured out how to toe that line. What do you guys think about why the show is lasting as long with some of the topics they're talking about? I mean, because nobody's off limits. I think for me, I'll start with this one. I think that's kind of part of the success of the show is like nobody is off limits. They make fun of everybody. So like you're going to offend one group of people. Okay. I mean, but if you're offending everybody, I mean, everybody's included. That's kind of like me as a comic. I mean, I'm not singling out one person in the audience unless they're just being a real dick and talking through the entire set. Then, yeah, you're going to be my entire act and everyone's going to jump on board. But, like, I think when you spread it out and you make it that everybody is going to get their shots, everybody's going to get a little joke made about them, and it's all in humor. I think that's why it's lasted 24 years and it's still running this long. But, Colin, what about you? What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I just think that the writers and the producers they're not afraid to push the envelope a little bit, and they're not gonna shy away from something just because it's taboo. They're gonna go right in and get after it. And then the other thing, kind of to your point, is nobody's off limits, so. And I think that kind of can be relatable to people when nobody's off limits. So I think those two things together are kind of contribute to the success of the show.
Okay. Biddy, what about you? You kind of touched on it there a little bit, but.
Yeah, I think to your point, like, right, like they've made fun of literally every ethnic group, all men, women, transgender, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. Every religion, they've made fun of like horrific events in world history. Like they've literally made fun of everything. But nobody, I don't think has like a leg to stand on because they're not singling out everyone. I mean, they've literally roasted presidents. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've done everything on there. And again, I think it's like a humor, and I don't know. It's not for everyone, right? Like it's definitely not for everyone. Probably more people than not will find humor in it. There's definitely some perverse things, that's for sure, that go on with it. But to this point, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to cancel it after 24 years? And if you do, what's Seth MacFarlane's going to laugh at you the whole way to the bank? So he made a ton of money, and he has Ted and all of that off of it. So I just think, yeah, to the point that he's literally offended everyone and apologized to no one. I think that's probably why the show's been so successful.
I got you, mister. Round us out on this one.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, just like everybody said, man, you talk about the one word, inclusion. It includes everybody. And the thing with it, though, with that word inclusion, you got to think about it. It's through animation. It's through, saying like cartoon type characters. So, you think about the characters and the animation side of it. I mean, who can't do nothing but laugh at the things that come out their mouth? And I think that's what make it, unique. Is how they can take those, things in real life that happen, that go on, and you put it in the form of cartoon animation. Come on, man, it's a win-win situation. Who gonna cancel a cartoon? Animation. I mean that's how. I mean, and that's the thing behind it. It's through animation, through these made up characters of animation, and I think that's the thing that kept it going for so long.
Well, and like another thing too, like think about this, right? Like if Family Guy wasn't popular, right? Remember back ever so many years ago, remember they tried to kill off Brian? They legitimately tried to kill off Brian on the show. And people were so distraught and outraged because that episode was so sad. Like then they had to like come up and make Stewie go back in time and save him and this and that. But like that was actually a very sad episode at the end when he's like dying and he says like, whatever, I love you all. And then people went insane because they killed him off and they brought Vinny on.
Honestly thought that was going to be the end of the series is when they try to kill off Brian. Like I really thought like, okay, this is how do you come back from that killing off one of the main characters of the family? Like I thought that was going to be like, okay, this is their send off.
Mm-hmm. And people were so like outraged that they tried to kill him off that they had to bring him back. So to the point of like, you want to say people can get upset about the show and whatever it may be, but I think that's a very slight minority compared to a majority of people who really like loved the show. And to Mr.'s point, it's a cartoon, right? What are you going to do? Yeah, you're going to cancel Quagmire? You know what I mean? It's a cartoon character. It just is what it is, And again, if you don't want to watch it, you just don't watch it.
And to your point earlier, Fiddy, like they canceled the show for 2 years, and DVD sales and that went through the roof. Like I know now with streaming, like they don't think like these episodes are still going to be on all these streaming platforms and everything like that. I mean, people were still going to watch it. And Seth MacFarlane's still going to be making money off of the show. And you tried once and it didn't work. I think to that point too, as well as people just okay. I mean, he's going to find a way to come back, and if they're not going to hurt him in any way, shape, or form, so just let him do his thing. You know what I mean? Just
right. And look how many, and I think this is a topic later on, but look how many celebrities and famous people have been on the show. If it was that offensive, I don't think they'd be coming on.
Right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's the fact that there was all of the most recent seasons of Family Guy on Hulu back in the day is the only reason I had a subscription to Hulu. So,
yeah,
Hulu.
There's probably a lot of people in that same boat going. That's the reason they have Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
But let's stay with you for this one here, Colin. What Family Guy character do you not like? What's the what character is your least favorite?
Oh man. That's a tough one. I don't know.
We have some tough questions here on Ride Home Rants, Colin.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm trying to think if there's anybody that was on that wasn't on there very long. I think actually maybe what was the anchor, the lady news anchor
Diane.
Yeah, she was because Tom Tucker is just so hilarious, and she's just kind of there as to try and support him, but it does. I don't think it really works out. So I'm going to go with Diane.
Okay, Fiddy, what about you?
I wasn't a fan of New Brian. I know he only lasted an episode, and then Stewie killed him and threw him out in the trash. But I wasn't a fan of New Brian, and then I don't like that woman that ran against, what was her name? The woman that ran against Wild West in the mayor election. The L Hitler lady.
Uh-huh.
The one that she ran when they had to go get, because that's when Adam West died in the show and in real life, and that's when they made Wild West go do it, and they made him run against her. Then I don't really like Joe and Bonnie's son. I really don't like Joe and Bonnie's son. Whenever he comes back from his war or whatever. The daughter, hilarious. Patrick Stewart does her voice in her mind. That's great. But the son, I could care less about.
I gotcha. Mister, what about you?
Oh, man, that's a good one, man. Probably, man, if I had to choose all of them, and I know this is probably going to be, crazy. But probably what's his name? Quiet Meister or Quiet whatever.
Quagmire.
Yeah, he's just a goofball to me, man. He's funny, but out of the ones, not that I don't dislike him, but if I had to choose one, he's probably he's just a just a goofball. Maybe he remind me of some people that I know. I don't know. That could be it. But
Everybody knows a Quagmire. Everybody's got that one creepy friend that's in their friend group.
right,
Like,
everybody. That's right. Everybody. You're right. Everybody got a code name for that for their friend who's a quiet master. Right? Whatever. Everybody.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah. But
I don't. I've been trying to think of like somebody that I don't like. I mean, on the show, Colin, like ever since you said, I mean, I gotta go with the anchor. I don't think she does them any justice and just does it because it's the only one I can think of that I don't like. I think everybody adds something to the show. I'm inclined to say Meg just because everybody hates Meg. Like that's just because for that. But one, like it's a very minuscule part, and he's only in a few episodes that I want to go back to. I can't believe I didn't think about this when we were talking about favorite characters that were not Griffin family related, but Blackie Weather, the weatherman.
Oh,
that
Ollie,
just
Ollie Williams.
Ollie with the Blackie Weather, like he just screams everything, and it's hysterical to me. It's go rain, like that. That's just to me that's so funny because it's just like he has this one line, and then that's it, and then it's moving on to the next thing, and my wife and I quote that all the time. Every time it's raining, it's raining sideways. It's just to us. It's just it makes.
Where's your umbrella, Ollie? Inside out, 2 miles away.
Inside out 2 miles away. It's
The
just,
one when they made weed legal in the show though, and then they were like doing that, and they're like, Ollie, what's the weather out there? And he's just like, it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, for least favorite, I mean that's a toss up. I mean you could throw anybody in there, but for sure had to get that in there. I can't believe I forgot about that at the top of the show. But Vinny brought it up, and we're going to bring this up with the amount of famous people that have been included. I mean, they include Carrie Fisher and Adam West, Robert Downey Jr., Sam Elliott, Tom Brady, Patrick Stewart, Drew Barrymore, Gene Simmons from Kiss. The list goes on and on. There's so many. I can't name all of them. How is it for a cartoon that Seth MacFarlane was able to get this level of guest on the show on his show? And Fiddy, we'll start with you since you kind of brought it up there.
Again, I think it's just the popularity of the show, right? Like those people aren't going to just do it to do it, right? They're not. Those people you named aren't like trying to make a name for themselves in the business. They're in the business, and then you can get it's professional sports athletes and all these other people on there. I think it's just because of the popularity of the show. I mean, really, it truly is. I mean, Adam West was a regular character until he died. Same thing with Carrie Fisher, right? You have Sam Elliott on there. I mean, you got to think like Seth MacFarlane does the voices too, right? But Seth MacFarlane really wasn't an actor or anything before the show. But you got, Mila Kunis to be on the show for 23 seasons out of 24. And the same thing with like Seth Green. And these were like two established actors and actresses that have been on longevity. So I just think it's just the popularity of the show. I really, really do. And the fact that people are going to tune in, and I'm sure Seth MacFarlane's also cutting them a nice check. But, I just think it's the popularity of the show.
Yeah, they're not doing this for peanuts for sure with that cast, even just with what I named. But Colin, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Fiddy said. I mean, I think at this point, there's not too many people who don't know what Family Guy is. Even if they don't watch it, it's out there in the lexicon. So, most people, you can make a reference to a Family Guy episode. And I'd say 98% of the time, whoever you're talking to is going to know what you're talking about. So with that being said, I'm sure that, they ask some people to be on the show, but then I'm sure there's just as many other famous individuals that are asking to be on the show. So I'm sure that, Like the one that comes to mind right now is whenever Rob Gronkowski moves to the house across the street. That one's like one of the ones I think about the most, just because it's a hilarious portrayal of Rob. So, and I'm sure that probably watching the show and he was like, hell yeah, I'll be on Family Guy.
Knowing Gronk, he probably asked to be on. Like, he probably, just his general demeanor, he probably asked to be on the show for sure. But, Mister, what about you? What do you think the longevity is like that?
It's going to keep going, man, because you got a lot of different people, a lot of different character, and you got to ask yourself, who wouldn't want to be, have their image in the form of a cartoon? You can do so much. I mean, you talking about living a different alternate universe and a different reality, and you can really be a different character. You can really be different from what you are in real life. I think that's the thing that's intriguing, to a lot of different people. And you know what? Yeah, this show, yeah, this is a famous show. It's a good show. You know what I'm saying? But look at the Cleveland show or the Boondocks. Just look at characters, different people who come on those shows. Who wouldn't want to be in the form of a character? Come on, man. I think you can't beat it. It's like the last thing to do. Something to do. That's saying from an alternate reality, man, is to see yourself, to see your image in the form of a character, as a cartoon character of that. So I think it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would. I know he would never listen to this show, but Seth, I'm available. I'm just saying to be on the show.
We're gonna have to get you on, man. I'm figured out.
Get me on, but I'm just saying he's gonna have to draw in some more muscles on me. I've always been the skinny guy that can't get any gains in the gym. Like, he's gonna have to bulk me up a little bit just for my own ego.
That's right, man.
They did with Wild West with Wild West when he was with Sam Elliott. Took his shirt off, the dude was chiseled. He looked like Hercules.
That's what I mean. Like, if there's ever anything like that, gonna have to be chiseled for sure. Because
you can be like the dad. You can be like the dad in the Cleveland show, man. Just be big and with the big gut. You can still be funny.
See, I got the dad bod god going on right now. When you got a wife like mine that can cook her ass off, you put the weight on real quick. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm at the age where I'm about it. I don't care. She just keep it coming. I'm never gonna turn that down. For sure, but yeah.
Oh man, lasagna,
that
baby.
would just be fun. That would just be a lot of fun to be a cartoon character for however long. Even if it's just an episode, that would be so much fun to be in an animated series, I think, and to be able to voice over. Hell, he could do my voice. I don't care.
Well, it'd be better. It'd be better than that is if Seth came on here as Quagmire and did a whole episode of the podcast as Quagmire.
That would be hysterical.
Oh,
if he came on and just interviewed Quagmire. That would be hysterical to me.
Yeah.
Or Stewie. Stewie would be great too. The whole episode is Stewie.
That would be that show would be 4 hours long because I would never stop talking. Like, I would just make him keep talking. Like, it would be forever long.
That'd be a good way to weasel your way onto the show right there. Just a little tip, little tip for dad action.
Not above just asking for shit like that to happen for me at this point in time. I don't care. There's no couth about me anymore. I'm almost 40. I don't care. I don't give a shit anymore. But Colin, do you have a couple of Family Guy clips, funny clips from any episode that stand out to you as the most memorable for you?
So I think my favorite gag that is a continual one that they have gone back to a couple different times is always the fist fight with the giant chicken, and it just gets progressively more and more destructive. That's like one of my favorite ones that they've done a couple of times. So that one for sure is my favorite.
My favorite is the spinoff of that, when they end fighting. They look like, why do we keep doing this? They just keep fighting. That's by far for that one for me. But Fitty, what about you?
I got a couple. So the one when Peter's like, this is more awkward than when I turn the bubbles off in the hot tub, and it's just like, then it cuts to them being in a hot tub, like Peter and 4 people, and it's like, yeah, party, woo, and then like Peter shuts the bubbles off, and he's like, ew, bath with friends. You know? And if you like really think about it, like you're in a hot tub with other people, and if you shut the bubbles off, you really are just in a warm bath with friends, and it's really really weird if you think about it. Then I think one of the other ones is when they make fun of vocational school. And I don't know if you guys ever seen that one. And Chris has to go to vocational school. So they bring him into the school, and then it cuts to like the reenactment of Goodfellas when they're walking through the kitchen and they're playing the song "And Then He Kissed Me," but it's like Chris having to go down the steps, and he walks into class and somebody sets him a desk down, and he's like, "There's no pad and pencil. It's from Mr. Tony over there." Just shows the guy like cheers him like it's from Goodfellas. And then I think one of the other ones is when they're making fun of them in England. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but they're making fun of them in England. And instead of Stewie having an English accent in America, they made him have like a Southern redneck voice. And then Meg is talking, and it's like, "Look at Lydia. What a 2-bit Wichita whore. One day she's going to wake up killed." like what? Like, that's wild. So I think some of those, the roof baby one, when Stewie's naked on the roof, is hilarious when he's screaming at Lois. I mean, there's so many. The introduction of Wild West, with what he says. So but I think the jacuzzi one stands out as the funniest because it's like the most spot on thing ever.
I got you, Mister. What about you?
Man, I tell you what, man, there's so many good ones. One that I kind of like is one of the episodes where he was talking about, how do you know what's inside of you unless you push yourself? And he say something like, instead of doing 1 push-up, do 100. Then he say something, right? And then he go and say, don't just have one family, have a second family across the nation. And next to that, don't just have a second family, have a third family with have a third family, another nation and something, man. And that one really stuck out. That one was a funny one.
And it's it's just like, how did he do it? He's like, and don't just kill one family, kill all of them. He's like, don't give him any closure on death row. And it was like a Just Do It Nike commercial.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. That one. And then, I love the one whenever they like intertwine the show with the Cleveland show. And when, when the Cleveland show got a character come on, I've always liked those. So some of them shows with the spinoff and they had other characters come on, I really, that's fine. I enjoy that. But yeah, that one though, don't just do one. How do you know what's inside of you unless you really push yourself? Don't just do one.
So funny.
So do 100. Right. Don't just have one family. Have a second. And don't just have just a second, but have a third one. Yeah, man.
I honestly forgot about that one. That's a good one. One of the ones that's kind of my favorite is when like they trap the politician, can't think of who it was, but like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. He just keeps going and picking up pieces of candy, then he walks into the trap where the stick falls and traps him in a box. I can't remember who it
was. James Wood. It was James Wood.
Was it James Wood? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did with him, and I think they did with like Al Gore or something like that. It was another one like that. And then when they did it the second time, they're like, we gotta remember this for the next time he comes in and starts acting a fool. Like, it was just like something like they couldn't believe it worked the second time. Because anytime I decide to get myself a candy bar or something like that at the store, I just, in my head, as soon as I grab it, I go, ooh, piece of candy. Like, that's just it constantly comes back to me. But that's definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Mike, I got another one too. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but there was one when Peter wanted to have his own milk, like fresh milk. So he had a bunch of goats. And they opened the fridge and Stewie's like pouring his milk into a cereal. And Lois or Peter's like, Lois, all the goats have been milked. And she's like, oh, those goats are male. And like Stewie's just like
yeah.
And then it flashes to a goat in a stall and has Peter's number, and he takes a picture of it and was like, I like good times.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
definitely a good one. It's just definitely why they keep pushing the limits. But we're going to end the show. I mean, we've been talking about basically the whole show. Well, come on, we'll start with you. And why should people watch Family Guy if they've never watched it before?
I just think there's something in it for everybody. If you're even the slightest bit curious, and you got 20 minutes to burn with nothing else to do, go ahead and just throw it on. And you could pick any episode, and you're probably going to get some chuckles. So,
okay, Biddy, what about you?
Yeah, I just think if you want to escape reality, like, again, the things we talked about in here are just about the show. It's not saying they're right, wrong, indifferent, right? A lot of the stuff morally none of us agree with. That's just a fact. But the humor within the show, right? Like when you watch that, you're like buying a ticket to the show in theory. So I just think if you want to escape reality, you want to laugh at a cartoon, to Mr.'s point, like, what are you going to do? Get mad at the cartoon? I just think it's just funny because, again, like Colin's point, I think a lot of it, you can just be like, oh my God, like I laughed at that. That's funny, because nothing's off limits. So I would say if you want to escape reality for 20 minutes, 30 minutes in your day, just turn it on, or just throw on Funniest Moments of Family Guy. I think you'll find some humor in it. World needs more humor.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Mister, what about you?
Yeah, that's right, man. 50 took the words right out of my mouth, man, because, that's what it is. If you need to escape reality, hey, man, it's one of the things that just cross all different type of boards, you came home, you had a bad day at work, saying you come home, and God darn, saying your girls with your best friend. Hey, man, just throw on that Family Guy, man. You'll forget about all your problems. Look at Colin, he heard it. You forget about everything, man. You think you in the show, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's a way to escape reality, and it's humor, So that's what it is, man. It's humor, and you might think it's a lot of things that they say is stupid or whatever, but through 50 point, like he was talking about, there's really no right or wrong. It's just a way to escape reality, man. And the world most definitely need a lot more laughing, and anybody can laugh at anything on that show.
I agree with that. For me, it kind of goes along with that in that as a comedian, for me, they toe that line with what you can and cannot say. And they're kind of proven to the world. I mean, everybody that, what, everything's funny. I mean, it's jokes at the end of the day, and they really put that on display. For me, that's the real reason. But you should watch it. On the second one, it's hysterical. It's funny, and it's just everybody's getting their shots, and it's something like everyone else said. You can escape for 20, 30 minutes, however long it is, and just forget about what's going on and just laugh. I feel like if everybody can laugh, like everybody would be a lot happier. I'm not going to be happy because there's been these gnats in my house. I know everyone watching on Patreon has watched me like swat things all day. I'm not giving these guys cues. I literally have gnats that I can't get out of my house right now because of the heat. And so, yeah, with that being said, that is actually the way we're going to end this episode here. And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. I want to thank all of my guests, Colin, Fitty, and Mister, for joining us here. A lot of fun to sit and talk about Family Guy. One of the shows I grew up watching for sure. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me, and I will see y'all next week. The Ride Home Rants podcast wants to thank you for listening and let everybody know that we do offer monthly subscriptions to help support the show in other ways other than listening and downloading each episode. What you will get with each subscription is you will get bonus episodes that aren't released to everybody. You will also have a chance to ask me anything each and every month where I will put out a special episode just to answer your questions. You will also get more exclusive content that is not released to everybody. To subscribe to the show, go and click on the link in the description of this episode, and I look forward to your added support and to help us keep this show going.